This episode takes us right into the center of Hudson's annual rodeo, where competition, pride, and hidden motives collide. From Amy's struggles with Strider and Nathan to Gracie's quiet manipulations behind the scenes, this one has plenty to go over. But before we start, be warned that this video contains spoilers for Heartland Season 19, Episode 6. The Hudson Rodeo takes center stage this week, linking nearly every storyline in one way or another. What starts as a busy weekend filled with events and sponsorships turns into a deeper look at loyalty, ambition, and how easily trust can be tested. Amy begins the episode with a new client, Cheryl, who's struggling with her horse, Strider. He's been difficult to handle, and Cheryl needs him ready before the rodeo. She also wants Amy to compete in the team roping event with Nathan. Amy sees this as a much-needed opportunity to rebuild her client base, so she agrees to train Strider. But things don't go smoothly. Caleb shows up, and he and Nathan fall into their usual rivalry. Their bickering distracts Amy. She was lost in thought as she was training Strider that she makes a mistake and injures her hand. The injury forces her to sit out the rodeo. Nathan and Caleb eventually call a truce, deciding to compete together in Amy's place. Their teamwork pays off. They handle Strider perfectly and end up winning the team roping event. Cheryl gets her happy ending, but Amy is left with a bruised hand and heavier thoughts. Well, she was also very happy, but there are other issues that linger on her mind. Meanwhile, Dex continues trying to earn Jack's trust. He's nearly finished paying off his debt. Jack literally forces him to volunteer at the rodeo to help with registrations. While doing so, he gets caught up in the excitement when a bull rider backs out of the competition. Dex ignored Jack's warnings and jumped in to ride the bull himself. He manages to stay on, but Jack is furious that he took such a reckless risk that could have potentially cost his life. Their argument ends with Jack telling Dex to leave the ranch. It's another setback for Dex, who just can't seem to stay out of trouble. Katie's story this week ties into the rodeo's halftime performance. She and River have been practicing a Flag Girls routine that ends with a dramatic stop, racing toward each other before pulling up short. Just when things are coming together, Katie learns that her Calgary book competition reading has been moved to the same day and time of the rodeo. Torn between her passion for writing and her rodeo commitment, she chooses the rodeo so she wouldn't let her friends down. River, ever the supportive friend, calls the Calgary organizers and convinces them to move Katie's slot. Katie performs beautifully at the rodeo, and afterward, River drives her to Calgary for her reading. Both moments go perfectly, marking an important step in Katie's growth. Lou's business ventures also tie into the event. She sponsors Miley, who's barrel racing under the Heartland beef banner, but Gracie tries to undercut her, offering to double Lou's payment if Miley will switch to price beef instead. Miley refuses out of loyalty to Lou. Frustrated, Gracie sponsors the Rodeo Flag Girls instead, turning the sponsorship deal into a silent competition. The move annoys Lou and adds another source of stress for Katie, who's caught in the middle of the rivalry. Logan also makes a brief return. He runs into Miley at Maggie's, and while their first exchange is awkward, it's clear there's still something unresolved between them. By the end, they're on better terms, hinting that this might not be the last we see of Logan. The bigger story unfolds around Gracie. Nathan had already caught her with Wes earlier in the episode. The meeting seemed odd at the time, especially since Wes has a questionable past. When Amy later confides in Nathan about her growing suspicions that Gracie may have done something that caused Spartan's recent issues, Nathan is initially furious. He defends his sister immediately, insisting she'd never do anything like that. But his certainty doesn't last long. Remembering what he saw with Wes and the track record of his sister, doubt starts to creep in. Gracie continues playing innocent. She approaches Lou during the rodeo, sitting beside her and acting friendly as if trying to smooth things over. But her charm feels calculated. The way she moves between people, offering deals, stirring rivalries, and playing both sides, shows that she's manipulating everyone around her. She's not just promoting price beef, she's quietly sowing division across the Heartland circle. As the rodeo ends, Nathan notices an advertisement for the Kamloops working horse competition. After the thrill of team roping with Caleb, he decides to enter. It's a spontaneous choice that might be his way of clearing his head from everything happening with Amy and Gracie. The rodeo might have seemed like a lighthearted event, but it revealed where everyone stands. Amy's injury forces her to confront her emotions. Nathan's faith in his sister is shaken. Dex's impulsiveness puts him at odds with Jack again, and Lou's rivalry with Gracie hints at a larger conflict brewing between Heartland and Price Beef. Gracie, meanwhile, is becoming the most unpredictable person in Hudson, smiling, scheming, and keeping everyone just uncertain enough not to see her full plan. Next week's episode is titled Fall Down, Get Back Up, and it airs on November 16th. The synopsis reads, when Amy helps an old friend of Nathan's overcome his fear of riding a horse for his wedding day, she's caught wondering what the future holds for her. Dex must prove himself to Jack,